Welcome to Across the Diamond, episode 5, NL Central off-season grades. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ryan McKinney.
I'm the second part of your co-host, Andrew Manjares, and episode 5, NL Central. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting division. I'd say it's pretty mid-tier though,
I think it's
based
the worst
on,
division in baseball, no?
yeah, but there's a lot of teams that have around 500. So, I mean, at least they're competing.
So it's the middest division in baseball and maybe in sports.
I don't know about middest, but yeah.
It's definitely doesn't, I don't know, unless you're a fan of a team in the Central. I mean, I don't know. I never wake up and think about the NL Central. That's just me though, personally. But I mean, it used to be
Nah,
great.
it
I mean, you
has
have
some
the
gr
Cardinals. The Cubs are obviously a historic franchise. I think the Brewers have a very strong fan base. I would love to be a Brewers fan. The
I
Pirates
wouldn't.
have definitely have something exciting, and equally as exciting as you have Cincinnati. So maybe not this year will it be one of the most competitive divisions, but maybe in the near future, man. It depends on what the Cubs want to do and if the Brewers want to go out and spend on maybe a bat or so. But the Reds definitely have up and coming stars as well. The Pirates and the
Yes, they
Cubs. I
do.
mean, they have a great team this year. We'll see if they go ahead and extend Tucker, or maybe even sign him again in free agency. But we'll go ahead and talk about those teams more in depth. But before that, man, let's get into the recent news, man. Speaking of the Cubs, they traded for Ryan Presley for a relief pitcher in Juan Bayo. So Ryan Presley, you waived his no trade clause to be over there with his teammate Kyle Tucker. Now he's in Chicago. And then Dylan Carlson to the Orioles on a major league deal. So having a minor league deal. So it looks like Dylan Carlson's going to get some innings and is going to start in the majors as soon as opening day starts for
I don't know
it
about
looks like what
start, but he's
not going
gonna
to start, but he's
probably
going to
be
be
on
on
the
the major
team.
league roster is what I'm saying. He's going to be at least having the Orioles uniform on opening day for look, is that league minimum? Is 975K league minimum?
No, it's a little bit more than league minimum.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more. If but nonetheless, he signed on a 1 year deal worth 975K. Adding Frazier to another Central team in Pittsburgh, to the Pirates on a 1 year deal worth $1.5 million. Another Central team, Austin Hayes, to the Reds for 1 year, $5 million. It looks like they pivoted, not getting a deal done for Luis Robert, at least what this report say, and they pivot to Austin Hayes. I mean, I don't know how you pivot from Luis Robert to Austin Hayes, but I mean, whatever, you know what I mean?
Who else is on the market for them to
I
sign?
guess, but sure, man. I don't know. It's weird. It was just weird to see like you couldn't get a deal done for Luis Robert, so you get Austin Hayes, and it's kind of like I guess it's a backup plan, but I think it's the backup plan of the backup plan. But whatever, man. Austin Hayes is a good ball player. I hope he
Austin
bounces back
Hayes is
this year.
legit, man.
Yeah, he didn't have a good year this year, whether that was in Baltimore or in Philadelphia, but
He
maybe if
crushes
hitting.
lefties.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. I don't think Camden Yards like favored his swing whatsoever. Anyways.
Not after they move the fences
Nah,
back.
for
No.
sure. But I mean, always been a decent player. I mean, decent defender as well. And then the Padres bring back their backup catcher and Elias Diaz, former All-Star Game MVP, for a 1 year deal worth $3.5 million. And then I don't know if you guys remember, in maybe a couple of previous episodes, we went over the NL West, and we are talking about Kirby Yates, how he is going to sign a deal with the Dodgers pending a physical. He ended up passing that physical, and he's officially a Dodger on a 1 year deal worth $13 million. And then the Mets up bolster the bullpen even more. They get Ryan Stanek on a 1 year deal worth $4.5 million. Then Tommy Kahnle, he goes to the Tigers on a 1 year deal worth 7,750,000. So we'll just round it up to $8 million. And then my favorite signing of the last few days is Hassan Kim. He goes to Tampa on a 2 year deal worth $29 million. We'll touch base on that after we finish the rest of these transactions. And then the Reds go ahead and trade for Taylor Rogers from San Francisco for Braxton Roxby. And then Carlos Estevez, he goes to the Royals to pair up with Lucas Urseg on a 2 year deal worth $22 million. And then the Mariners bring back Jorge Polanco. That was just announced today. So there's no money as of right now on January 30th at 7 p.m. Pacific
Yeah.
Standard Time, but there's no contract details. I don't even know how many years it is, but all I know is official that Jorge Polanco is going to go back to the Mariners. So maybe next episode we'll have more details on that and we'll touch base on it. But out of all these moves,
You
which one's your
forgot one.
favorite? Oh, Max Scherzer.
There
Max
you go.
Scherzer. Max Scherzer to the Blue Jays were on a 1 year deal worth $15.5
And a
million
half.
dollars.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's a
Good
lot
for
of money, man.
Scherzer.
That's a lot of
He's
money.
getting paid again.
Yeah, he is. But out of all these moves, what's your favorite, Ryan?
Uh, I'm gonna say either Estevez to the Royals to bolster that bullpen, or Ha-Seong Kim to the Rays because I think that signing gives them damn near a top 10 infield in baseball.
So what you have Carson Williams? Junior Caminero, Yandy Diaz, and now Hassan came to play second.
Brandon
Well,
Lau,
that's
brother.
oh Brandon Lau. What is he gonna DH now?
Brandon Lau might DH, yeah.
You can actually Carson Williams may not get the call up right away, so maybe Hassan Kim
Yeah,
plays short for a while,
yeah. I think
and then
Brandon
you
Lau's
have
gonna.
Brandon Lau at second until maybe Carson Williams shows a little bit more flashes of being more of a consistent hitter down there in the minors. Obviously, he could pick it, man. I mean, he won the Platinum Glove Award for the minors this year, so obviously he could pick it. He's gonna get some time at shortstop, even if he's a glove first baseman. But I think with the signing of Hassan Kim, I think you give a little bit more time to Carson Williams to maybe develop that bat and maybe get a better hit tool. Not to say that it's bad. It's just there's always room to improve. But yeah, man. Would you say top 10 infield in baseball?
Damn near, I think.
I think that's cutting it a little short. I mean, I think it might be a little bit better than that.
I don't. I
Um,
mean, it's on the edge.
for sure. I would say it's better than the Yankees. Is it better than the Red Sox?
Mm,
Devers,
no,
Casas,
no.
Cedon Rafaela, and what? Who's played second? Rob Refsnyder,
I mean,
Trevor
Trevor
Story.
Story. I
And
don't
Cedon
think so.
Rafaela might not even be in the infield,
And he's gonna play center field.
but even then, I think it's probably better than the Red Sox. It's not better. I don't know. Gunner,
Not better than
Mountcastle,
the
Westberg, and
Orioles.
Holiday. So no, it's better than Vladdy Bichette. I think with Vladdy's carry, and even if Bichette goes back to maybe be
I think it's.
75% of his best years, I think you give the edge to Toronto with Ernie Clement
I
too.
don't know about that. They don't have a guy who can play defense in Toronto.
But they have two guys who can hit pretty well.
I mean, but my shortstop can't pick a ball. That's a problem. And
I
my
don't know,
first
man.
baseman can't field it if I don't throw it to his chest either.
So Hassan Kim, Yandy Diaz, Junior Caminero, and Brandon Lau, better than Ernie Clement, Bo Bichette, um
Andres Jimenez is the
Jimenez. Oh,
only good
Andres
defender
Jimenez. What
in
if you throw
Toronto.
Andres Jimenez to short and you throw Boba Shed at second?
I mean,
That's
I
definitely a
don't know.
conversation we
I
can
don't
have for
think they're
another
gonna
day, but
do
I think that
that.
would work out.
I don't think they'll do that
No, I
though.
don't think they'll do that either. But I think it's definitely worth like if I'm the GM or the manager, hey man, like what do you think of this? Like I definitely think it's worth a conversation.
Yeah.
But you could definitely lower Boba Shed's value too if he's a second baseman. If you're want to kind of
Well,
hold
I
him.
think, yeah, that's why I th don't think they move him out off short. I don't think that'll
That's an
happen.
interesting conversation. I wonder if teams are going to call like, "Hey, Bo, like you think you'd be willing to move to second?" Because I definitely think that's a conversation. And if Bobichet's kind of player that I look up to, I think he'd be willing to accept that as well. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, it's definitely better than the Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox. So they get the second best infield in at least the division, the AL East. So I mean, yeah, great signing on them. It does kind of clog Carson Williams though. Now that I kind of think about it,
No, because
I guess
Brandon
you throw
Lau's
Brandon
gone
Loud
after
as
this
second.
year,
Yeah, or you throw him at DH.
and they could DH him. Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Or you
Imagine a
move.
Carson Williams, Wander Franco up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to imagine.
It's not, it'll never happen, but I mean, that kind of would have been a great sight to see.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. But imagine though, that'd have been pretty
Rest in
dirty, man.
peace, dude. Well, let's not get into that,
Yeah, let's
but
not get into it,
Jesus
man.
Christ, man.
Well, all right. Those are the moves as of January 30th. Hopefully we still have Alex Bregman, we still have Pete Alonso on the free agent market, among some other guys as well. So I mean, seems to be it'll definitely be February the next time we get a posting out. So I mean that leaves a month until spring
Yeah,
training
some of these
starts.
obviously we read off a lot of like these mid-tier free agents that are impactful for the regular season,
Yeah,
um, to help these teams win games, and it looks like all these dominoes are going to start falling here. There's a couple of big name free agents left on the market, but we'll see what happens. Let's
for
get
sure.
into the Brewers.
I'll let you take it away.
All right, so the Brewers have made some additions and some subtractions this season. They traded the best closer in baseball, damn near, Devin Williams, to the Yankees for Cody Durbin, and Nestor Cortez.
Caleb Durbin. Caleb
Caleb
Durbin.
Durbin. Caleb Durbin. They also added Elvin Rodriguez, Grant Wolfman, and Grant Anderson from the Rangers. Uh, Guy had a nasty two innings to debut his career and then kind of fell off after that. And
Yeah,
then their
for
losses are pretty widespread. Willie Adames, Hobie Milner, Bryce Wilson, Joe Ross, Frankie Montas, Colin Ray, Gary Sanchito, Wade Miley, Devin Williams, obviously, Mason Molina, and Owen Miller.
yeah, man. I think the biggest blow to obvious. I don't even know. I think it's a toss up between Willie Adames and Devin Williams. I want to give it to Willie Adames on their biggest loss this year, just because that bullpen
He
is
plays every
disgusting.
day too.
Yeah, that bullpen is disgusting. It's just when you talk about someone of a caliber of a closing pitcher like Devin Williams is definitely a conversation, man. Arguably the best closer in baseball. But yeah, man, you lose Willie Adames, elite glove, a big bat that you had in that lineup, and for protection for your other guys, maybe the one off the top of my head is William Contreras and Christian Yelich. So how do you think they pivot from that?
I honestly don't know who's gonna go play shortstop for them this season. I think we looked um yesterday or 2 days ago, right? And they had
They had Joey
that
Ortiz
that
playing short, if I'm
Joey
mistaken.
Ortiz, and then they slid that prospect over to third. I forgot Owen, I think Owen something.
Oliver Dunn.
Oliver Dunn, yes.
So the projected lineup right now, as it goes with all these losses and just all these additions that they've made, you got Jackson Chorio, who's only going to be 21 this year. So obviously you're expecting big things from him. He's a pre-arb extension before he even steps to the big league. So obviously you can see how truthful in how they view him. So you have Jackson Chorio playing right. Christian Yelich is the projected DH. So it seems that his
Yeah, he's
back
gonna
is
DH.
his back is done, man. It looks like he's only going to hit. I wonder if it's going to take away from his speed on the bases too, but we'll see. I really want to see how they go ahead and manage Christian Yelich. I think it's damn, who's our new manager? He was his first year this year. Damn, who's their manager? Do you remember the Brewers manager?
His name? No, but I could get it for you real quick.
I know exactly who it is, bro.
Pat
I'm
Murphy,
blanking. Yeah,
yes,
Pat
Pat
Murphy.
Murphy.
Pat Murphy. So I wonder how Pat Murphy and that entire Brewers organization is going to go ahead and manage Christian Yelich moving forward, man. I mean, he's 33 years old. Is just we see a lot of tall guys in the league, but as a tall person, man, your back acts up. I mean, Christian Yelich is definitely not a small guy, and it just seems like he's getting plagued with a lot of those back injuries, man, which kind of sucks as a baseball viewer. Christian Yelich is a great player, but
Especially with how he was playing this past season.
yeah,
I mean,
man.
he was 300, 400, 500, had a freaking 11 homers, 12 doubles, stole 21 bags all in just 73 games, put up a 909 OPS,
Yeah.
151 OPS plus, which is the highest he's put up since that 2019 MVP season,
Yes.
and was an all-star. It's just unfortunate to see him go down.
Was it 2019? I thought it was 2018 because Cody
Yes,
Bellinger won
yeah,
2019.
yeah.
Okay.
2018 was him and Belly, that Yelly and Belly commercial.
Yeah. And then you got the best catcher in baseball, William Contreras. He's batting third. And then you got Garrett Mitchell playing center and batting cleanup, which is extremely interesting because Garrett Mitchell is, I mean, I wouldn't want him to play clean up on my team, but just it is what it is. It kind of looks like they're going for
Whoa,
righty lefty.
don't disrespect Garrett
I'm
Mitchell
not
like that.
disrespecting Garrett Mitchell, but he's a glove first kind of player. I mean, I don't know if I want him to bat cleanup, but you can go ahead and run through his stats if you
I mean,
want.
he had an 812 OPS this past
I mean, it's
season in
gonna play,
70
brother, but it's is
games.
it gonna be is it gonna be fourth
And
in
an
the Rangers lineup?
832. He had an 832, but we're not going to compare the Brewers to the Rangers
I mean, you got Reese Hoskins as your five. Why not throw Reese Hoskins at four?
because Reese Hoskins is too much of a swing and miss kind of player. You know how the Brewers love their contact
What
guys.
if you move Christian Yelich down and you bring up Bryce Teranga to bat right behind Jackson Churio?
Bryce Terang's bat is just too vulnerable for me right now until he's proven. I mean, this isn't like their official lineup, so let's not dive too
Yeah,
deep into it.
this is Fangraphs projected lineup, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
But then you got Garrett Mitchell, and then Reese Hoskins batting fifth, Sal Frelick batting sixth, Bryce Terang batting seventh, Joey Ortiz and playing shortstop batting eighth, and then Oliver Dunn, as you mentioned, is getting slidden over to third base, running at the lineup at number nine. And then on their bench, they got Eric Hayes, Tyler Black, Caleb Durbin, and Blake Perkins. And their rotation's not bad. I mean, I don't think Aaron Savali is their three. I really don't see that happening. But as of
Nestor
right
will be,
now,
I
you
think.
got Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, Aaron Savali, Tobias Myers, and Nestor Cortez running off that rotation. I think it goes Brandon Woodruff. I mean, no, I could see Freddie Peralta being the one. Brandon Woodruff missed the last year and a half. So they're probably going to ease his way back in. So maybe him being the SP2 is a safe bet. And then I think you throw Tobias Myers as your three, Nestor as your four. And then
That's a good front four, man.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's gonna get the job done.
Yes.
It's it's just kind of crazy if you can imagine Corbin Burns still in that rotation, man. It's day and night.
Yeah.
But it's no knock to the rotation now. It just kind of testifies as how good Corbin Burns is. But
Absolutely.
their bullpen not bad, man. Connor Thomas, Nick Mayers, DL Hall, Elvis Perguro, Brian Hudson, Joel Piamps, Jared Koning, and Trevor McGill.
Trevor
Um,
McGill.
And then
Obviously, me
definitely
and you are
Abner
big
Uribe.
Abner Uribe
Yeah,
guys. You
Abner
and I are
Uribe is definitely
huge
gonna go out
Abner
there.
Uribe guys.
And
If
then
he
I
could
think
start
they're
throwing strikes, oh,
yeah, man,
he'd
for
be
sure. He's
nasty.
disgusting, brother. He's disgusting. He's kind of like Camilo Duval if Camilo Duval had a sinker instead of a cutter. That's it. Instead of the exact same
Abner,
pitcher, it just
yeah,
sinker to cutter. That's it.
yeah.
And then they're gonna get Robert Gasser back at some point. I know he went down last year, but
I love
he's
Robert
gonna come
Gasser.
back some point to be the sixth man or even plug in when any of these guys get injured. But
Yeah.
if you want to go ahead and touch on their prospects, I know you're very extremely high on their prospects.
Yes, they have one of the best farm systems in baseball, I think. Definitely, I think it's damn near a top three farm system in baseball.
So what, Red
There's a lot of
Sox, Brewers, and who do you want to plug in after that?
mm, probably either the White Sox or Cubs or well, actually no, the Cubs fell out after
Because
trading
they
Kim
drafted Cam
Smith.
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
the
maybe the no, I
I'd
don't
have to
know.
dive into to do my top three, but I know for sure
Maybe the
this is a
Orioles
top.
still, maybe, or maybe even the Nationals if you still
No, the
want to count
Orioles.
them. They have a lot of graduations, but the Nationals still have a great farm system, man,
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, let's talk about the White Sox. The White Sox have a great prospect
for sure.
pool too. Um,
But
I
anyways,
mean, we got Jacob Mizorowski who has a
mhm.
80 grade fastball. Tyler Black, who I think is going to come up this uh next season. They have a lot of low A guys that like not a lot of people are going to know about. Um, like a Eric Batani, Jesus Mate, Luke Adams. By the way, Eric Batani grew up right next to me and Andrew. Played with played rival high school with us, so dope to see him shining like this. It's gonna be fun to watch him play ball.
For sure, man.
Um, and then who else did they have? Let me actually look up their top rankings because I'm not gonna name them off the top of my head. Is Sal Frelick still in there?
Yeah, Sal Frelick is
Yeah,
projected to be in their lineup though.
yeah. I mean but that's a good prospect to a young guy. I think he's only 23 years old. Jefferson Caro, of course, is still out there. He's a high A guy. It's just a lot of young guys that people may not know about. Eric Brown Jr. is a low A guy. I mean, Eric Brown Jr. He's an unorthodox guy, but he makes a ton of contact. Is super raw because obviously low A guys. I mean, it's just a lot of these prospects are super raw that people don't know about, and it's going to be exciting to watch them grow. And then in a year or two from now, we're definitely going to see a lot of these guys on the top 100 prospect list, most likely. And you, for those who called me crazy when I said it's a top three farm system in baseball, you'll see that these low A guys are for real.
I would like them to see maybe not revert to the Orioles type of how they, gatekeep a lot of their prospects and also this prospect hug. I think they'd benefit on trading for a shortstop or even maybe a guy like Luis Robert. I think you have to definitely have the capital where you can go ahead and maybe be able to let some of those guys just considering how deep your prospect system is, especially with a lot of the guys that recently have just come up and been drafted in your organization that, like you mentioned, are still in single A and in rookie ball, where you're extremely high on, and maybe you could even trade some of those guys as well to get a player of
It's
a
just
caliber like Luis
they might
Robert.
they might be overpaying because those guys are so young that people really don't know their true
Yeah.
potential. It's not like the big name free agents. As a GM who's trading a star who's under control for cheap like Luis Robert, you're not going to want to go to your fan base and say, look I got a bunch of 18, 19, 20
No,
year olds
100%. I get
who
it.
haven't
Who do
played
you think can
double A.
headline that deal?
It'd have to be Tyler Black.
Yeah,
And
I don't
then
think
and
you
then
give
Jacob
up
I think Jacob
Mizorowski. I just
Mizorowski
think
would have to
Mizorowski,
headline
like,
actually.
I think he ruins your depth. So maybe you can't even get that deal done because it seems like they don't have a lot of pitchers basically in their pipeline. It seems like a lot of them have graduated or maybe
Well, I
even
mean,
traded.
Mizorowski's going to be moved to the bullpen and be a major leaguer this season. So
I mean, yeah, because he can't get his control down to maybe be a starter. Maybe his command it lacks in that aspect. So yeah, I did see the projections with him being in the
I think his
bullpen.
stuff just plays more to a bullpen
Yeah,
role
for sure, man. And
too. I mean,
I don't know. I am they definitely had some good development over there in the Brewers system for when it comes to pitchers, but it seems like at the major league level, it seems to be a little bit different. So I wonder seeing under the major league development, like being a part of the Brewers squad on at the major league level, I wonder how that's going to play for Jacob Mizorowski as well. So
I mean, they're
I
great
just
at
definitely,
developing pitchers.
yeah, for
They
sure.
they've struggled on the bat side of things, I want to
Yeah, man.
say, but
I want
not
to look at their
pitching.
prospects, and that's why I'm saying, like, would you be willing to trade some of these guys for a bat? Because it seems like you just need one. I just don't. I'm not faithful that William Contreras can carry that team. Obviously, they tried it this year. It just didn't work. You have Jackson Chorio as well. I think it's missing one thing. You know what I mean? Like I think Cody Bellinger would have been
Yeah,
a great fit for this team as well. I just think like a level of bat like that, like maybe not the best floor, but an extremely high ceiling type of player. Maybe playing out there in Milwaukee, being under those very grateful fans, maybe does something to you. But I definitely think that they should be more active when it comes to the trade market. I think they could have maybe even matched a deal for Kyle Tucker if they thought Kyle Tucker was available, but you let him go to a division rival. And just looking at this farm
I don't
system,
think they could have matched that deal.
I mean, you could have overpaid for it a little bit just to match that type of value.
Oh,
Maybe deplete your farm system a little bit
but
more, but I
why
think you could have done it.
overpay? Because they're not going to re-sign Tucker. The Cubs have a chance to
I mean,
re-sign Tucker.
if
The
they had
Brewers
the money
don't.
to go ahead and re-sign Christian Yelich, I think they can have enough
They
money
didn't
to
even have the
re-sign
money
Kyle
to
Tucker.
re-sign Devin Williams or Corbin Burns or any of these guys, and
But I
Kyle
just
Tucker's
don't
going
think
to
they
make
wanted to.
2x.
I just don't think
Kyle
they
Tucker's
wanted
going to
to.
make 2x of what Corbin Burns is
I'm
worth.
just not going to make excuses for these owners, brother. I just
Oh,
think
I'm not either. I'm just saying that's
I
how they
think you can do
develop.
it. I
That
think you can
let's.
do it.
I wouldn't ruin my entire farm system to go out and trade for a guy for 1 year who I know I'm not going to re-sign because he's going to be way out of my price range as an organization.
Okay, what about Santander? Santander could have been a cheap option.
And he would have been their second highest paid player on this team, brother.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
I
Maybe
mean, do
you
you want
disagree
your
with me. When
second?
you look at this, when you look at this Brewers team, don't you feel like it's missing just
No, it
something?
is. It
I
is.
think you
It's
need
missing a
to.
shortstop.
It's missing some. Yeah,
If
for
anything,
sure.
go out and re-sign Willie Adames if you're going to throw that money because the AAV
I
between
mean,
Adames and Santander was what, 7 million, 6 million? You
but
could have deferred that money
less.
and we've seen the Dodgers do it. You could have deferred that money and given Adames the same contract that Gi the Giants gave him.
Yeah, I don't know,
I
man.
mean, and that
I'm
like
kind of disappointed with the Brewers, to be honest with you.
yeah, let's go ahead and grade their offseason
I think
next.
I give it maybe like a C minus, man. I just look at all these moves. I don't think it made you. I mean,
I'm gonna give it a
it's
D
yeah,
plus C minus too because
yeah. I don't like
they
it at
got
all.
worse.
It got worse 100%. I mean, I like the Nestor Cortez move. I mean, I think you could have got a little bit
But
more from
again,
D.
he's there for one
For
year
a
too.
year. Yeah. I
And
think you.
Caleb Durbin, I'm not high on.
I mean, neither. I don't. I was extremely glad that he wasn't going to be a projected everyday starting second
I
baseman. I
think,
was never high on
yeah,
him to begin with. But yeah. I mean, you lose Devin Williams and Willie Adames, man. I mean, you even lose a little bit of pitching depth with Frankie Montas, Wade Miley. You know what I mean? Colin Ray. So I mean, it's shit like that. It's just I don't know, man. I think they should be a little bit more active. I think they should have been in a couple of other sweepstakes as well. Even for just low, like maybe even Austin Hayes. Austin Hayes goes to the
yeah.
Reds. I mean, maybe you can go sign up a player of caliber like that. There's like definitely like little things that you can definitely go and try to get. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you talk about Willie Adames and trying to match that contract with the furls. I mean, you have still have Pete Alonso that's out there in the market. So maybe you go ahead and try to call Scott Boras and maybe see if he's willing to take a deferred
They're not.
contract.
But the Brewers are smart when they pay their guys. They're not going to pay a Pete Alonso who's on the wrong side of 30 and plays a
Yeah, they already
bad
tried it with
first
Reese
base.
Hoskins too. It didn't
Yeah,
work
and they
out.
tried to get rid of Rhys Hoskins' contract.
Yeah, they did.
So I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where their money's tied up at. I just feel like your payroll is definitely not high, and I definitely think you should be a little bit more active. I think Santander would have been a great fit, to be honest with you. I would have slid Bryce Stirring to second and maybe have Joey Ortiz or Bryce Stirring to short, and then maybe have Joey Ortiz play second. I think that's what they should do moving forward. I think Bryce Stirring's one of the best defenders in baseball. I think that should work out better. But to be able to match that level of production in the lineup with Willie Adames, I thought Santander would have been a great fit. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. So D plus, C minus. We'll go ahead and move on to the Cubs, who's
before that,
very
let's take a
active.
break because I got to use the restroom.
All right.
All right.
All right, man. So D minus or D plus C minus range for the Brewers. It looks like Ryan's grade is about the same. So we'll go ahead and move on to the second place finisher in the NL Central last year, with the Chicago Cubs with a record of
The Cardinals
83.
actually finished second.
They had the same record, brother.
Yeah, but the Cardinals finished on top because of the tiebreaker.
I don't think so, brother.
Yeah, go
On
look
the
it up.
MLB standings, brother, it wasn't. I did. I always follow MLB standings when I'm making my agenda.
Here's the NL Central standings right here. Oh, wait. A National League. There we go. I don't know if you can see that.
All right, bro. We'll go to the Cardinals. All
Cardinals are
right, the
right there.
second place finisher at the Cardinals. This will be easy. They've added
They
nobody.
literally haven't added
They've
anyone. That's why
added
I wanted to do
nobody.
them first.
They've added absolutely nobody. They've lost Adam Kalifstein. He got non-tendered. You lose Paul Goldschmidt, Andrew Kitteridge, Matt Carpenter, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Keenan Middleton. I mean, it's gonna be quick, but that's an F, to be honest with you. They just are an abomination of a successful franchise on what they've done so far. I'm really sad for Cardinals fans. I really am. And it's just an F,
Yeah.
man. I don't even know where to
It's
get
just
into it.
I
They
think
have
what
no prospects. They don't have anything. They're just the Cardinals. I don't know what the hell they're
I
doing.
I think we should get into it by let's talk about the possible moves that they can make
They
by
can't make
trading
any.
away. They could trade away Ryan Helsley, Nolan Arenado's. They're trying to send that contract away. I can't believe he hasn't been traded yet, to be
They can trade
honest.
Sonny Gray, I guess.
And Sonny Gray.
They're gonna have
So
to eat
like,
salary. They're gonna have to eat salary if they want to
yeah,
move up the
and they
contract.
should because but if you look at this team, tell me this team can't be competitive in the NL
No,
Central.
no, I don't want to see it. I look at this
Why?
rotation: Sonny Gray, Eric Fetty, Miles Michaelis, Andre Pallanti, and Steven Matz. This is not going to get it done.
Is
It's just not.
I mean, but they have a good bullpen and they have a good lineup.
Okay, Ryan Helsley, Matthew Liberatore, Ryan Fernandez, Jojo Romero, John King, Lee, Zach Thompson, and Gordon Grisafa. And
Jojo
then
Romero, that's a top two bullpen in the NL Central. It's better than the Cubs, it's better than the Reds, and
I
it's
don't know.
better than
We'll
the
talk about the
Pirates.
Cubs. I mean, the Cubs have definitely made some upgrades over there in
Dude,
their
they
bullpen.
literally only have Eli Morgan
I mean, they
and
got Ryan
Ryan
Presley,
Presley.
and he
Jojo Romero is better than Ryan Presley, and I guess he's not. Eli Morgan's nasty, but Ryan Helsley's better than both of those guys.
sure. I don't like the Cardinals, man. I really don't.
I don't either, and I think
Um,
they should tear it down and rebuild. But
I look at the line. I'm just so underwhelmed by their lineup. I think Mason Wynn's a good player. I think Alec Burleson's a good player. Wilson Contreras.
if
I
Newbar
don't
can
know
stay
how I
healthy,
feel about Wilson Contreras.
okay, you're crazy.
The
Wilson
thing about
Contreras
Wilson,
is
he could
elite,
swing it,
bro.
brother. He could swing it. You know what I
And
mean?
he's
He could
being a
swing it.
first baseman DH this year.
But I don't know. Something about Wilson Contreras. It just like I don't know. Just he just underwhelms me. I don't know. I
Well, how
just
does he
I
underwhelm
don't
you?
know. I don't
A
know.
93 percentile
No,
ex-WOBA
I know. I understand. I know who Wilson
underwhelms you
Contreras is.
with
I
a
know his stats.
97% walk
I
rate.
know what he's capable of. It's arguably that he's a better hitter than his brother. But I don't know. Just something about the Cardinals are just like so auraless.
Or her list is crazy.
I don't know. I'm a hater, bro. I'm a hater. I'm sorry, Cardinals fans. It's honestly no hate. It's really not. It's just I just don't like what you guys have done in recent memory to make this team better. I I loved when you guys got Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. I mean, it was the best corner infield in baseball for a while. It just did not work out. Um, Lars Nootbaar, the kid needs to stay healthy. Jordan Walker, he's young. It feels like Cardinals fans, it's just Major League Baseball fans around the world. They just think like they expect a lot from Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker isn't even 23 years old yet. You know what I mean? Like he gets a cup of coffee and then he gets sent back down. He gets a cup of coffee, then sent back down. You know what I mean? Like if you want Jordan Walker to blossom, just leave him in the big leagues, man. It just you're not going to be competitive anyway. And even if you are competitive, I just don't see you beating out the National League with the Braves, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers. It's just
Yeah,
let Jordan Walker play. You know?
let him get so many. He should play 100% of the games this season.
Yes.
I don't care how bad he is because he's 20, what, 3 years old?
He's not 23 yet. He's 20.
22? He's
Yeah,
still
he's 22.
22, right?
He'll be 23 with during the season. I don't know if it's before the season or after the season, but
Yes,
he'll be
yes.
23 at some point. And then you got Victor Scott. Victor Scott got a cup of coffee. He couldn't hit. You could field. He just can't hit. You know what I
But
mean?
that's what his MO was
Yeah.
he was a glove first guy.
Ivan Herrera. I mean, he's a good defender. I mean, he could swing it. He's shown flashes if he could swing
I
it.
really think Ivan Herrera's
You know, I
good.
think Ivan Herrera's pretty good too,
I think he's
especially at
going
the
to be a
catcher
great
position.
catcher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
because
catcher
he can
position,
kind
he's
of
really good.
swing it a little bit.
He can. That's what I'm saying. He shows flashes if he could swing it. He's a good defender, if I'm not mistaken. I've never heard anything really to say bad about Ivan Herrera. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm almost certain that he's a solid defender. I'm gonna look his savant real quick.
No, he's not a solid defender. He's negative or he's 63 percentile in blocks above average. Caught stealing
Oh
rate
yeah,
is
he
bad.
sucks. He
Pop
can't
time's
frame. He
bad.
can't
Framing's
block.
bad.
Yeah, he can't do anything.
But he's young. He can grow. We've seen catchers get. Look at William Contreras.
Yeah,
We've seen catchers develop. And if he could get into like 70th percentile and blocks above average in framing, that's a solid catcher, especially with the numbers he puts up with the
Brendan
bat.
Donovan, I don't know. He just like Alec Burleson to me. I think they're the same player. Brendan Donovan is obviously more valuable. He plays defense. Alec Burleson, you just use a DH.
Yeah, he
Um,
swings it against righties.
but I mean, it's okay. It's just like I said. I think the perfect word to describe the Cardinals is just underwhelming.
It's
It
just
just it's
mid.
just an
It, this
underwhelming
most
team.
of this division is that
It's
way.
mid.
I'm
Yeah.
really excited about the fourth team we're
The
going to
thing
talk
about
about.
no, the thing about the Cardinals is just like either future doesn't look bright either. You know what I mean? It just looks
Well,
like
it
they're
could if
just
they trade
mid.
away Helsley, JoJo Romero,
What are you going to get back for
and
Helsley
Sonny
for
Gray.
1 year of Helsley for a relief
You
pitcher?
could get
You can get a good prospect, maybe a top 100
look
prospect.
at what the Yankees got back
They got Nestor
for
Cortez and Caleb Durbin. Caleb
who's
Durbin is not
above
100.
average starting pitcher, and
Okay.
Caleb Durbin was one of the top prospects in the Yankees
Do you
farm
think Ryan
system.
Helsley gets that type of haul? Devin Williams is
He's
far
similar.
superior.
He's similar to not far superior.
I mean,
Let's
okay, he's superior. He's better than Ryan Helsley.
Ryan Helsley's not a top five catcher closer in the game.
Clase, Bautista, um, D. Will. Do you think Mason Miller is better than Ryan Helsley? Do
Yeah,
you think Kirby Yates is better than Ryan Helsley?
no, maybe
Do you
Tanner
think Blake
Scott.
Trinan, Tanner Scott?
I mean, but you could argue he's better than some of those guys. I mean,
I
pull up
don't
his
think he's better
savant.
than Andres Munoz. I don't think he's
He's
better
better.
than
I
Robert
think he's better. I'm
Suarez.
taking him over Andres Munoz.
And I don't and I think you're tripping. I think you need to go like maybe
Whoa,
I think you need to go look at his stats.
whoa.
Andres Jimenez is the
Okay.
definition of consistent. Ryan Helsley has
So
shown
is Ryan
flashes of
Helsley.
being bad.
So is Ryan. No,
No, he's
win,
not. No, he's not.
win. He has a
No, he's
career
not.
2.63 ERA and 260
What's his
innings.
fit, brother? What's his fit?
Pull it up.
You tell me.
I don't
You're
have
the
it
Ryan
in front
Helsley
of me.
truther.
Okay. I mean, FIP. Let's pull it up because he doesn't really, or he strikes out guys and he doesn't walk
He
much.
has a 312 fit.
Yes. And what is
Okay.
Andres Munoz? I mean,
You
FIP
stay on
isn't the
Helsley.
tell.
You'll
Okay.
stay on Helsley. I'll go on Andres Munoz. And I still think Robert Suarez is better too.
I mean, he had a 2.41 FIP last in his last three game seasons.
Andres Munoz has a career 2.65 ERA
Okay,
and
Ryan
a
Helsley's is better.
2.75 FIP.
Okay, let's do the last three seasons. 2022
What's
for
his ERA plus?
2024.
What's his career ERA plus?
His last three seasons of Ryan Helsley, he is in 152 games. He has a 1.83 ERA. He struck out 225 batters and has a 2.35 FIP with a 2.27 ERA plus.
Okay, since 2022, 65 innings,
Hold on, I'll do
149
it
ERA
for
plus.
just click on all three of his season. It'll pull up the stats combined for those three seasons
How the fuck do you do that?
on Baseball Reference.
I am on Baseball Reference.
Yeah, click the three seasons. Just tap on anything and click it, and click all three of them. It'll pull up. I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it. You gotta teach me how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so from 2022, I wish we could compare, but from 2022, Helsley clears an ERA by point 0.7, point zero
Point
0.07,
seven.
or point 0.7. Andres Munoz has a 2.5, Helsley has a 1.8. Fit or he has 240 strikeouts, Helsley clears that. And by the way, this is Munoz in 25 more games. He has less strikeouts. And he
How
has a
many so what? How many strikeouts does Munoz
and they
have?
have the same FIP.
240?
Yeah, and Helsley has 255.
Okay. They have the
And then
same
they
FIP.
have the same FIP,
What
2.7.
about ERA plus?
ERA plus Andres Munoz is trailing by 70 points.
All right, man. I'll take the L on that one. Ryan Helsley's better. What about Robert Suarez?
I'm taking Ryan Helsley.
Okay, that's fine. What about Luke
He's
Weaver?
let's just say he's arguably a top five closer in
What about
baseball.
Edwin Diaz? Josh Hader?
I'm taking Helsley over Edwin right now, and
Josh
I'm
Hader?
taking Helsley over Hader right now.
Anything to push your narrative, right, Brian?
We could do the same thing we just did with Munoz right now
I mean, you
and
definitely have to
compare.
take Josh Hader. Josh Hader has a way more proven track record.
Okay, but Josh
Um,
Hader's old and literally is bad, has been bad the last two seasons, damn near.
he hasn't been bad, brother. He's still what,
He's been
35
bad.
saves?
He's been bad.
He hasn't been bad, bro. He's a reliever. He has inflated ERA, bro. You know that.
Okay, in the last
All right, it's fine. Anyways, the thing about
Okay.
the Cardinals, they're mid. What are
Yes.
they? Mid. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Okay. But what could we get back for Ryan Helsley?
Who needs a Ryan Helsley? No competitors.
The Red Sox don't need a closer. The Rangers don't need a closer.
I guess you're right. And to the American League, sure. Okay, what do you think a haul looks like from the
Okay, we
Red
could go to the
Sox?
National League.
Do you
Would he
think
not be the
you go
best closer?
Casas for Helsley 1 for 1?
No, I don't know. That might be too much of an overpay, but it's dependent on what the Red Sox would give him.
Helsley for Casas, straight up.
I don't think
It's a 1-1. Ryan, it's not
I
it's
know. I couldn't tell you. It's based on what the Red Sox view Casas as
not by much, bro. If they were willing to who they were trying to trade Casas for someone else.
for Luis Castillo, a proven starting pitcher. He is
Yeah.
old and
And you also have to take on a lot of that salary as well.
well, yeah, because Helsley's gonna.
So in terms of Ryan Helsley, I mean, I think a trade package looks relatively similar to a Tristan Casas versus, for Ryan Helsley 1 for 1. I think that's very fair in my opinion.
I mean, it's just so hard because Tristan Casas is a 900 OPS possible baseball player.
Would you do
Um,
that trade for Andres Munoz?
no, fuck no.
Would
Um,
you do
maybe
it for
if
Devin Williams?
yeah, probably right. But we established Devin Williams is better than Housley, right? I
Sure.
was just trying to put a like a parallel trade
I'm
sort
just
of
saying there's no one on that team unless you want to throw some slapdicks to get Helsley.
for the from the Red Sox.
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of guys in the Red Sox rotation or farm system that they could throw.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing top. Nothing that's going to match a Tristan Casas offer.
Well, I think we could outduel Tristan Casas' offer.
But I mean, in terms of trying to get better today, I mean, yeah, I guess in the future too, you're not going to be competitive today anyway, with Tristan Casas. So I guess, I mean, you can replenish that farm system. Definitely get some pitching help. And then, yeah, I think pitching help is definitely what they need, starting pitching help. But yeah, I mean, I think the Rangers, Sebastian Walcott, see ya.
No,
Um,
no fudge, no. Um,
um,
we
I
don't have
think
to get into
Nathaniel
the
Lau. I think
package.
Nathaniel Lau would have been probably a good package deal
Well, I mean, it
for
would have
Ryan
been one for
Helsley.
one.
Yeah, it would be 1 for 1, but Nathaniel Lau and maybe Josh H. Smith.
But why would they trade for Nathaniel Lau? I mean, he's not like gonna help their team get better.
Josh H. Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it would put in Josh Shade Smith and a few pieces. I don't know. They could replenish their farm system and get 2 to 3. I mean, they could get
I'm just
what
saying the
what can
only
they get
trade
from Sonny
piece,
Gray?
the only
Could they get
nothing. They're not going to get anything because the other team, if you're okay,
why would they not
put
get
in
anything?
perspective. Give me a second. Put into perspective. So you take the Cubs for example. They get Cody Petit, and we get to take on majority of the salary for Cody Bellinger. Nolan Arenado has even more salary. You know what I mean? So a team is either gonna have to not eat any of the salary, and the Cardinals are gonna have to eat it to get replenish their farm system, or they're gonna get nothing in return, and the other team take majority of the salary. There's no in between. So it's just like
But
what
for Sonny
team?
Gray, it's only 2 years of a contract, and it
I was
might
talking
be
about Arenado. I was talking about Arenado.
I'm talking about Sonny Gray. They could
I think
get
Sonny Gray's like he's owed a lot of money, bro. A lot of
it's yeah,
money.
but it's for 2 years, and I think there's a player option, player or club. I don't know. I think it's a player option for the third year, but it's not a lot of money compared to what these guys are getting on the market for his value of pitching.
Sure, sure, sure. I
So I
mean,
mean,
someone has to take on that entire salary.
he can net you a top three 3 to 5 prospect from a team system.
Okay.
Like you're telling me he can't get like if the Orioles were actually like a if if they would actually trade their prospects away, you're telling me he can't get you like a Enrique Bradfield Jr. and maybe a lower level prospect too,
For them to eat the majority of the salary? I don't know.
and trade away Cedric Mullins in that too, it's to get off that salary.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe in terms of more of like a Jordan Westberg-ish.
Wh- Why would they trade away Jordan Westbrook, who is a top 10 third baseman in baseball, probably?
I just think I don't know, man. I just
I
think
mean, or
Sonny
close to a
Gray's
top
worth
10.
like that. I don't know. I just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for major league talent and to not be able to eat a lot of that salary, maybe split it 50-50, maybe 75-25. I think Jordan Westbrook gets that done.
I don't.
I do.
Yeah, I guess if the Cardinals are paying for like
If they're paying
20,
for a lot of the
15 to
salary,
20 million of that
yes.
contract,
Hmm.
but the Cardinals wouldn't do that.
It depends on how much they want to compete. Jordan Westbrook is what under control for the next 4 years.
Five, I think.
Well, it wasn't his rookie year. His rookie year was the year before. So
Oh,
yeah,
then
four
four, yeah.
years. 4 years. So I mean, I think that's definitely. I think I would have a conversation with that if I'm the Orioles or the Cardinals. And I just think that's because I think the Cardinals are always trying to compete. I think they're always trying to never have a losing ball club, at least 500 ball club. And I don't necessarily think they're looking for a prospect haul when it looks to Sonny Gray. I think they're looking for a prospect haul when it comes more to Ryan Helsley.
I think they, no matter what, they're looking for prospects.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see.
But anyways,
But
let's get
as
on
far as
to
their grade,
the
it's an F, brother.
yeah, let's just get
Um,
on to the Cubs because
all right, Cubs. Cubs have been extremely active, brother. They've
hold
been
on, let me get
active.
my list real quick. I, I dropped my phone. I don't know where it's at. All right, let's get into the Cubs. Sorry about that. The Cubs have been the next two teams have been extremely active, don't you think? The Cubs and the Reds.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start talking about the Cubs and what they have done. Obviously, they acquired the big fish of the offseason, a guy who became available out of the blue, I kind of think. Maybe not out of the blue, but randomly and then was dealt pretty quickly. Kyle Tucker. They also traded for Eli Morgan. We just heard recently that they traded for Ryan Presley. They traded for Cody Petit too, gave up Cody Bellinger in that deal. They signed Matthew Boyd, Carson Kelly, and Caleb Thielbar to contracts. And then they lost Matt Mervis. That trade for Tucker, they lost Isaac Paredes, Hayden Wesneski, and one of their top prospects, Cam Smith. And then they also lost Adberto or Aldazay. I can never say his name.
Alazoy, I don't know.
Uh, Mike Talkman and Nick Madrigal.
So you went over everything?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs are I don't know. I don't know what the Cubs futures looks like. And I feel like it's hard for me to judge their offseason not knowing what their future
Let
looks
me
like.
let me give you let me give you two propositions
Okay.
to judge this offseason. They re-sign Tucker and they don't re-sign Tucker. What would you give it their offseason if they re-sign Tucker?
Okay, you re-signed Stucker, you still got Seiya, you still got Dansby, PCA has another year.
They have a great farm
Shota
system.
Imanaga, Justin Steele. Justin Steele has to be almost a free agent at this point. Um, Tyone, you still have him. Shota Imanaga will be on his last year next year.
I mean, I'm
Honestly,
just
I
saying
don't know. Um, let's see. I mean, you still have Ian Happ. You extended him. You still got Seiya, still got Michael Bush, still got Dansby, still got Nico, but he's going to be a free agent here pretty soon as well. You have Matt Shaw. He's going to be there for a while. Miguel
yes.
Amaya, he's going to be there for a while.
Yes.
If you re-sign Tucker,
Like let's start the grading with that. If they re-sign Tucker, what would their grade be? And then
I'm
we'll do
I'm
it.
still like in that B range, brother. I'm still in
I
that
mean,
like
that's a good
I'm still in
offseason
that
though.
B range. I just it's just
How much better do they get
unless
with
you're no, I'm just saying I you re-sign Tucker, brother. Okay. You still have Matthew Boyd, Javier Assad, Colin Ray, and Jamison Tyone. Only two good solidified pitchers in that rotation are Shota Imanaga and Justin Steele. Justin Steele's on his way out, and so is Imanaga because you didn't sign Imanaga for a long-term deal. So it's just you got Ben Brown. Um, I just don't like their pitching, and it's unfair to the National League teams have the Dodgers not do what they've done. You know what I mean? If the Dodgers aren't a solidified juggernaut, this team looks a lot better. You know what I mean? It looks a lot more competitive.
Hold on. Are they the best team in the NL Central with this roster? Would you pick them to win the NL Central
In
if you're
2024 or
betting
2025?
this season, 2025?
2025?
Yeah,
Oh, it's really hard. It's between them and the Reds, bro, in my opinion.
I think that.
Um,
How are you gonna throw away the Brewers?
nah, I don't think the Brewers are good. I
Dude,
mean,
look at what they
if
did with the
Brandon Woodruff,
rotation they
if
had this
Brandon
past
Woodruff,
season.
but they don't have Willie Adames. They don't have Willie
Okay,
Adames. They don't
but
have a shortstop, and you don't even know
they
what
have
Christian
a.
Yelich is going to do this year.
But look at what
He
Jackson
still has a
Chorizo
back.
did.
Okay, yeah, Jackson
Yelich
Chorio. I
and
forgot about Jackson Chorio.
Chorio's coming back, and he's gonna be. I mean, his second half in playoff run was incredible, brother. I mean, absolutely incredible. So like, I don't want to put too much on young players, for the postseason because I feel like it kind of sets their expectations way too high
So you
because
think it's between
we've
them and
done
the
it with.
Brewers? I think the Reds definitely need an honorable mention,
No, I don't think it's
but
because, but I think you throw the Brewers in that conversation with the Reds.
okay.
I don't.
I think the Brewers are still a solid team. I just don't think they finish first. I think it's either
I
going to be the
think
Cubs or the Reds.
I think it,
Um,
yeah. I would say Brewers or Reds, but I don't think the Cubs win the
I don't think
NL
the Cubs
Central.
either.
And I hope I'm
I
wrong
just
because this
don't
team's
like
fun.
that rotation. I don't like that rotation.
I don't like their
Um,
bullpen.
I don't like their bullpen either. Ryan Presley, Porter Hodge, Tyson Miller, Nate Pearson, Caleb Thebar, Julian Merriweather, and Keegan Thompson. It's just not going to get it done. It's just
Pearson's top 50 in stuff plus, by the way.
let's go. I love Nate Pearson. I've always loved Nate Pearson. Um, yeah, I don't like this team.
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't like the team. I I admire them for trying. I admire them for
If
trying to get better.
if they don't re-sign Tucker, this offseason is like a D plus C
It's
minus.
just even with Tucker or without Tucker, you're still like I don't think Tucker really makes that much of a difference. I think it's cool. I think it's
No,
cool to see
I
Tucker and
mean
Wrigley.
he's the MVP candidate, right?
I
And
just
he's
don't
the
think he
best.
can carry
Is
this
he the
entire
best
team.
player the Cubs have had since Chris Bryant in that 2016 team for sure?
Yeah, for sure.
Or 2015, what was that, 2015, 26, or 2016, I
I
think.
mean, yeah, well, it was Bryant and then maybe Baez and now Tucker.
Or Rizzo, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Hayward was abysmal. Shout out Addison Russell.
No, do not shout out Addison Russell.
And shout out Wilson Contreras too. But Kyle Tucker, yeah, for sure, man. Kyle Tucker. Fuck.
Let's say
It's just
if Tucker
hard.
goes 40-40 this season, and or let's say 40-30, they are not re-signing him. I don't think they have. Like I hope the Cubs throw that much money out
Unless
because
Tucker's just a
how
nice
much
guy,
he's
you know what
gonna
I
make
mean?
450
But
million this offseason, right?
for sure, easy,
Yeah.
easy. At
Do
least
we see
four.
the Cubs putting pen to paper on a
No,
$500 million deal?
no. Kyle Tucker just turned 28, so he'll be 29. So he's gonna get a 10-year deal.
Probably 11.
Yeah, 10 to 11. And yeah, it's gonna be around the 40 to 45 million dollar
I mean,
AAV.
unless they do like an 11 year $450 million contract and they defer half of it over like a 20-year stretch afterwards, I don't see the Cubs doing it, man.
I don't know, man. I think you could have had maybe that package you gave up and went. I think you could have got Corbin Burns. If you had Corbin Burns to this rotation and you keep Isak Paredes, you keep Cam Smith, and you keep Wisniewski.
But I don't
Obviously,
even
you still
think,
have a hole because Kyle, but you also keep Bellinger. I think that's a better team. I think if you get Corbin Burns and you keep Bellinger, I think we're looking at a different team. And then maybe you go out and sign in maybe a Chris Martin. Maybe you bring Kirby Yates in that bullpen instead of
let's
Ryan Presley. I think that's a better team than what they put together.
but let's say they did this trade, right? And before that, they went out and signed like a Luis Severino and Jack Flaherty, right? Like just some solid starting pitcher.
Shota Imanaga, Justin Steele, Luis Severino, Jack Flaherty.
Tell
And
me
then you have
that's
Javier Assad, Jamison Tyone. That's a great rotation.
yeah.
That's a great rotation.
Or
Um,
traded for Jeffrey Springs even and then signed
yeah,
one of those guys, two of
yeah,
those one out of two of those guys. I mean, they just have to get I mean, and they could still sign Jack Flaherty. He's still on the market.
yeah. But you already
But
signed Matthew Boyd, so it looks like if you
I
wanted to
like
sign
Matthew
Jack
Boyd
Flair,
too.
I'd like Matthew Boyd too. He's 34. He's on the
Yeah.
wrong side of 30. I mean, he looked good in the
I
playoffs. He
mean,
looked good over there in Cleveland.
unless you have the bullpen of the Cleveland Guardians, I don't want him starting
Yeah. This
a
bullpen is
playoff
so
game.
bad, and just the pitching is just not very good. Um, but yeah, I'm in the B range. I think I it's
If they
regardless
re-sign
of how
Tucker.
I feel, on paper, the offseason looks fine. You know what I mean? On
Yeah.
paper, it does. I mean, any team who trades for Kyle Tucker gets an automatic B from me, man. I mean, Kyle Tucker and that caliber of player on any ball club, even if it's Chicago White Sox, brother. I mean, he's gonna do some damage. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to add on the Cubs, man. It just that central, it just
It's
it's
I think
ugly.
next season's more essential than this offseason for the Cubs
Yeah,
because they have to put pen on paper for Kyle Tucker or else this offseason's damn near a waste and they set their team back a little bit.
yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the Reds then. Do
Yeah.
you want to give a grade? I'm in that B range, maybe B minus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that I don't think there's one way to put the offseason. I think it's
nah,
if they sign Tucker, it's a B plus, and if they don't sign Tucker, it's a D plus.
yeah.
So that's my grade.
So we'll move on to the Reds. The Reds finished 77 and 85. They're projected to win the division. They were projected actually to be a playoff team going into 2024. Seemed like a major fail to a lot of people. But they've been active, man. You signed Austin Hayes today for a 1 year deal worth 5 million. Nick Martinez accepts his qualifying offer, so you bring him back on a 1 year deal worth $21 million. You bring back Brent Suter. He also accepted his qualifying offer for 2.2 million. And then you get Taylor Rogers from San Francisco for Braxton Roxby. You get Arnaldo Gua Lantagia from the Dodgers for international pool bonus money. Then you trade the Dodgers again for Gavin Lux for Mike Sirota and a 2025 competitive balance round A draft pick. You trade the Rangers for Owen White for cash. You trade the Yankees, Fernando Cruz and Alex Jackson, and you get Jose Trevino in return.
Hip hip.
You trade Jonathan India and Joey Weimer.
Weimer. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey Weimer. Shout out Joey, I like him. And then for Brady Singers to solidify that rotation, good rotation, really, honestly. And then you claim Roansy Contreras, who's kind of been around the block this offseason. He finally lands on the Reds. And then to highlight their losses, you non-tender Ian Gubat, and then you lose Justin Wilson, David Buckman, Buck Farmer, Nick Martini, Ahmed Rosario, Ty France, Luke Maley, Jacob Junis, and Braxton Rugsby via trade.
I mean, I think the biggest question mark for this Reds team is health. If they could stay healthy, this roster is the best in the NL Central, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get Novelli Marte back for a full year. We'll see if he can, be back. I mean, minus the PEDs. I mean, the kid's still young, man. I mean, I think a
Yeah.
lot of these players take PEDs. I just think he just unfortunately got caught. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, TJ Friedel, he's been banged up, man. He's been banged up.
Yeah.
Didn't play at all last year, but good player, man. Good defensively, good on the bases, gets on base, good bat to ball. Ellie De La Cruz, he's only 23 years old, man. I mean, you want him to be a superstar right now, just all the hype. MLB The Show cover now, but he's 23 years old, man. He'll be a superstar eventually, but I don't know if it's next year, but it's definitely in the book for him,
In
man.
the cards, yeah.
Yeah, he's 23. I mean, even if he doesn't want to
I think
blossom to a
I
superstar
mean,
till
he
he's
was what top
25.
he was top 10 in F4 this season, right?
Yeah, I mean, he steals
Yeah.
bases at
I think he's a
the
superstar.
extremely high clip. He extremely improved on the defense.
Defense.
He just can't hit worth the piss against lefties. And
But he's too young. He's
yeah,
young.
he's still young. He's 23 years
And we
old.
see
I'm
that a
not
lot with
saying
switch hitters where they
yeah.
struggle from one side.
Yeah,
So,
man. So we'll see if maybe he transitions to. I don't like always recommending that switch hitters just stop switch hitting. I think it's just you got to work at it. You know what I mean? Just like any other thing, just like learning how to field a ground ball, learning positioning, learning how to cut your cutoff, man. Just baseball 101. I just feel like you just got to put more time swinging from the right side, man. But yeah, Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McClain, just great player. Just wasn't unfortunately was not healthy last year. But Matt McClain, great player. And then Tyler Stevenson, he seems like he's been with the Reds for a while, man. I don't really know. I don't. It's kind of like you hear about Tyler Stevenson for like a month, and then you don't hear about him, and then you hear about him again.
yeah.
But he's a catcher. I don't see a problem with Tyler Stevenson there. I definitely think his leash is almost gone, but it's whatever. Tyler
I'm
Stevenson,
just
he's cool. He
excited for
runs
this
into a couple
rotation.
balls. And Jake Fraley, same deal, kind of with TJ Frito, just been injured, man. He got hurt. Spencer Steer, same deal, injured, great player. Heimer Candelario really took a step
I think
step
he's gonna
backwards
bounce
last year, but
back.
he has to bounce back. There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah.
And Gavin Lux, man, gets a change of scenery, freshly a World Series champion. So we'll see how he goes out there and plays over there in Cincinnati. I mean, If I'm
Had a
Cincinnati,
good
I'm kind of
second
thrilled to
half.
have Gavin Lux. Yeah, he had like a 900 OPS in the
Yeah.
second half and carry that into the playoffs as well. So shout out Gavin Lux, man. I'm sure he's a little bit sad getting traded from the team that drafted him, and projected to be the starting shortstop for a while after Seager left and after Turner left. So I'll definitely hold some weight, I'm sure. But came out of the better side with the ring for it. And let's see what his next 10-year brings over there in Cincinnati. And then just newly acquired red as of today is Austin Hayes. On your branch, you got Jose Trevino, Platinum Glove Award winner, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Santiago Espinal, and Stuart Fairchild. And yeah, man, this rotation. I'm not high on their SP5, and I'm really not high on their SP2. But on paper, it looks good. You got Hunter Green, Brady Singer as your SP2, Andrew Abbott, Nick Martinez. Shout out Nick Martinez. If you guys don't know anything about Nick Martinez's stats in his year last year, great year. And then Nick Lodolo as your five. How do you feel about that rotation?
I'm really excited for it.
I'm
I
just
think
I don't like
Lodolo's
Nick
good.
Lodolo.
I mean, I don't know what don't you like about him?
You realize he's 27.
Yeah, he's just dealt with injury.
Just injury after injury after injury. And even when he's on the field, he shows flashes of being good, and then he gets shelled his next start.
I mean, yeah, he's dealt with injury. It's hard to come back all the time when you don't know when your next pitching routine's
I
gonna
mean, he
be.
has 253 innings in the big leagues, brother. He's
I mean,
pitched
look
to a
at his biggest sample
4.18.
size.
Okay, his biggest sample size was this past year at 115 innings, a 3.95 FIP, and a 4.76 ERA with a 9.5 strikeouts per nine, a 3.30 walks per nine, or no, a 2.9 walks per nine, a 1.0 homers per nine, and almost an 8 hits per nine. That's just not going to play. Give him an
How is that
ERA
not
plus
gonna
of
play?
92 ERA plus. He has a 92 ERA. He's a
I
below
don't
average starting
care.
pitcher.
He's not below average
What
at
stat
all.
points to you that
I will
he's not
put a
below
bet.
average?
Okay, look at his 2022 season,
22,
please.
22. Okay, 2022. He had a 3.66 ERA through 103 innings, 131 strikeouts to 39 walks. It's good. 3.90 FIP. He had a 119 ERA plus, a 3.4 walks per nine, a 1.1 homers per nine, still about the same clip of hits per nine, 7.8,
I
with
don't.
an
Who cares about
11.4
hits per
strikeouts per
nine?
nine. He's given up hits. What do
I
you
mean,
mean?
he
Who
plays
cares
in
about a
great
hits per
about
nine?
okay. And what if three of those hits were bloopers that went over the second baseman's head?
Well,
Like,
that's
who
his
cares
FIP is
about
still a
hits per nine?
3.9. His
That you
FIP
know
is
how
still a
many
3.9.
pitchers have under a 4.0 FIP, Andrew?
Not a lot, but I'm just saying,
Exactly.
I just don't understand Nick Lodolo. I just don't understand how everyone's
Because he's a
projected him to be
6'6"
great.
lefty that's completely disgusting. He just needs to put
I
it
just don't
together.
see it. I don't see it that way. I mean, you can put a bet on anywhere you want. I mean, you just give me a lefty of your choosing, and I'll go ahead and take it.
Give me Lodolo. I
Okay.
I
Give me
mean,
Carlos Rodon.
okay, so you're gonna pick a top three Cy Young candidate at one point in his
At one
career
point
to
in his career, I mean, removed from 2022, where he had a 3.66 ERA, since you think 2022 is so important. So, yeah, why not?
Okay, so that's a fair bet.
I mean, in your eyes, yeah. I mean, you think fucking Nick Lodolo is the greatest. He's second. He's the greatest. So let's
I
just
don't
put your
think
money
he's
where your mouth
great.
is.
I don't think he's great. I think he's good.
I think if you compare Carlos Rodon's year to um Nick Lodolo, I think it's pretty similar.
Okay, you're comparing a dude who got paid $180 million or something from the New York Yankees.
3.96 ERA. Bro, with the Yankees, he has a 6.85 ERA and a
He had
3.96
a
ERA.
shoulder injury last
He
season.
pitched
Come on, bro.
175 innings this year at a 4.39 FIP, an 8.1 hits per nine, a 1.6 homers per nine, a 2.9 walks per nine, and a 10.0 strikeouts per nine. So, yes, I think that's a fair offer.
Okay, we could do that.
Hopefully the same deal with Carlos. I hope he figures it out because he's 6'4", Nick Lodolo 6'6", and he's a power lefty with gross slider and
Nick
a
Lodolo is not a
overpowering fastball.
he's not a
I'm talking
power
about Rodon.
lefty.
I'm talking about
Uh,
Rodon. Power lefty, 97, 98 with a wipeout slider, introduce a cutter and a changeup. Um, yeah, I think it's a fair bet. But yeah, I'm not high on Nick Lodolo at all. He's 27, I guess. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have insulted his age. It just feels like he's been in the league forever. But yeah, Nick Martinez, good for him, bro. I'm really excited about Nick Martinez. Andrew Abbott, I think he's better than Nick Lodolo. What do you think?
No, I don't like not as a pitcher, but he might put up better numbers.
Counting stats, but it's not your eye test.
Yeah, I mean, he pitches innings. I appreciate what he does.
Yes, he plays his role, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Lodolo's role is to be a
3.72
two
ERA.
pitcher, the number
Oh
two
my
on this
God.
team.
Andrew Abbott had a 5.04 FIP. Gee whiz. That's not good.
All right, well, let's grade this Reds off season. Actually, let's talk about
Um,
Brady Singer. What do you think he provides for them?
I think Brady Singer and Nick Lodolo are the same fucking
You
pitcher to
said
me,
you
bro.
weren't. Oh,
They're the same pitcher to me, man.
okay, bro. This guy's just talking crazy today. This is ridiculous.
Bro, tell me anything about Brady Singer. What makes you Brady, bro? Brady Singer was great in college.
What college you go to?
He went to
SEC.
SCC.
Jack Caglione played here.
Was he teammates with Wyatt Langford?
No,
Did they go to the same school?
they did go to the same school.
And that's University of Florida then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, the same. That's exact. Honestly, I think that's a great comp. Brady Singer and Nick Lodolo feel like the same pitcher to me.
Bro, how? Oh my God. All right. I'm not gonna talk about it. Brady Singer's gonna come in for the Reds and pitch to like a 3.8 to 3.9 ERA, give them 175 innings, which is what they fucking need because when was the last time a pitcher pitched 150 innings for the Reds ever? I don't think it's been probably
Hunter
since
Green? I don't know.
Bronson Arroyo. But
I don't understand how you can have these counting stats over there in Kaufman, but then you go to a,
he's a ground ball pitcher, brother.
so who's behind him? Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McClain?
It's a good defense.
That is a good defense. It's a very good defense. He has
So I mean,
102 ERA plus, a 3.97 FIP.
he's an average starting pitcher that
I
gives
mean,
you
yeah, he's above
innings.
average. Yeah, he gives you innings. I love me an innings eater, brother. I love a guy who can get some outs. I just don't think, I don't know. I think Jonathan India is just a little bit more valuable.
But they traded from a value of surplus. You have to remember that.
Yeah, sure. I get it. I don't know, man. Besides Hunter Green, I have a lot of question marks for this rotation. Is that fair enough to say?
Sure. I mean, that's fair because they can't stay healthy. So let's give
I
them a
think
grade
Hunter
on this
Green is
offseason.
great. I think Hunter Green is really, really good. I might not be range. I think it's better than the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B minus.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Cubs. I think they have the same letter grade, but I think Chicago Cubs is a little bit inflated because of that Kyle Tucker. But all in all, I think the Reds' moves were better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was just looking comparing. I think the Reds moves make them better, whereas the Cubs, I think the viewpoint of the po- of fans is that the Reds got more in terms of like win rate. The Reds got more better than the than the Cubs got.
Yeah. I'll let you go ahead and touch base on the last place finisher.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, what did they do? I don't understand how they have these these young guys who are generational at what they do in terms of all these pitchers, and they just go out and refuse to add great talent to that lineup when they had guys available. But anyways, they just signed Adam Frazier. Welcome back, Adam Frazier. You were an all-star in Pittsburgh. I hope you repeat it. Doubt it though. Tim Meza signed a 1 year contract. Caleb Ferguson signed a 1 year contract. Mr. Kutch, Andrew McCutcheon's coming back on a 1 year contract. They got Chase Shergitt from Boston for Matt McShane. Emmanuel Valdez from Boston. This is a good trade though. They traded Spencer. They picked up Spencer Horwitz from Cleveland. We talked about this trade on previous podcasts, and they gave away Luis Ortiz, Josh Hartle, and Michael Kennedy, and then they picked up Peter Leckie from Cleveland for cash. And then to go over their losses, they lost Brian De La Cruz, Connor Joe, Yasmani Grandal, Aroldis Chapman, who they should have traded at the deadline last season, Jalen Beeks. Matt McShane, Joe,
Didn't they trade
um,
Chapman?
who they trade him for? To
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure they traded Chapman. I think he went to the Royals, no?
last season?
Am I tripping?
Why would he be on our list if he didn't finish the season with that team?
Ah, that's completely correct. He was on the Royals a team before, and then he went to the
Yeah.
Rangers. I forgot about that.
Luis Ortiz, Josh Hartle, Michael Kennedy, and then they non-tendered Marco Gonzalez, who lost out on a payday. Feel bad for the kid because he was injured.
Yeah. I mean, nothing really worth noting on what they've added. I mean, Spencer Horwitz is pretty cool.
I'm gonna say D plus
Which
because Horwitz literally brought them from
I
an
don't
F
want to
to a
give
D
them an
plus.
I don't want to give them a D plus because I feel like it's the same deal with the Rockies. They're not
Not
blocking
it's
anybody.
okay, but it's not even close. They should be trying to compete with these contracts that they have
Why?
because they have three elite starting pitchers.
That are still under their second year of control.
And now they're making the league minimum for 2 more years. How much do you think Paul Skeens is going to cost in arbitration?
Shit, I hope he gets injured, so hopefully zero.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm just kidding.
Um, like Bubba Chandler's gonna like these guys. It goes quick, and you don't have that long to be competitive until these guys are gone. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure, we can give them a D plus. I just in my eyes, I know they're not going to be competitive regardless.
but they
At
sh
least
why
this
shouldn't
year.
they be?
At least this year. I mean, sure,
Why
you can
sh
get. I don't know, man. I think Santander would have been a good pickup for them.
if they sign
I
two
think Pete
outfielders?
Alonso is still a good pickup for them.
Yes, and they could do
Alex
the
Bregman can even
contract.
be a good fucking pickup for them. Anybody really, anybody
That
can make this
don't
team
block
better.
my guy, Q Brian Hayes.
Nah, his leash is almost up. But to be real quick, you got Isaiah Connor Falefa, Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, Andrew McCutchen, Joey Bart, Spencer Horwitz, Nick Gonzalez, Key Brian Hayes, Joshua Palacios. On the bench, you got Jason DeLay, Jared Trillo, Adam Frazier, Billy Cook. Rotation's nasty. Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Bailey Falter, and Johan Oviedo. And then
Johan.
the Johan Oviedo. And then Joey Wentz, Tim Meza, Kyle Nicholas, Caleb Ferguson, Carmen Molodzinski, Colin Holderman, Dennis Santana, and David Bednar. I mean, it's okay.
And they're gonna bring up Bubba
Yeah, they're
Chandler
gonna bring
this
up Bubba
season too.
Chandler. You still got Connor Griffin, Thomas Harrington, and Tamar Johnson, I believe his name
Yeah.
is. I believe they're all top 100 prospects, if I'm not mistaken. So I
Tamar
mean,
Johnson.
he just
That's
got
a
to figure it
guy.
out.
He's got the tools. He's just got to
Yeah, he's
put
got
it
the tools.
together.
Yeah, so they definitely have a good, still have a good prospects, man. So yeah, but it's gonna be exciting though. Maybe not this year, but I definitely think next year. Maybe we'll get a cup of coffee when Bubba Chandler comes up. Between that rotation of Skeens, Keller, Jared Jones, and Bubba
Chandler.
Chandler. With that Skeens, Jones, Bubba Chandler, I mean that's up there with the best three
So why
punch
not try
of
to
all
put?
time.
So why not try to compete with that three punch?
I just don't think this is the year. I think maybe they'll work with what they have until the deadline, and I see them making a splash at the deadline if they seem to be a little bit competitive.
But they're not gonna be competitive.
You don't know that.
I do know that they don't have a lineup.
They got to keep Brian Hayes, bro, your boy.
I like keep Brian Hayes because I thought he was gonna be elite. But
Yeah, they don't. They really freaking suck, dude.
I
I
mean,
don't
who's their
know,
best
man.
hitter? Brian Reynolds, and then
O'Neal
who?
Cruz.
Oh, I love O'Neal Cruz.
You have Ryan Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz. I mean, hopefully, Key Brian Hayes gets maybe a league
Oh,
average hitter.
McCutcheon. Let's not disrespect McCutcheon.
McCutcheon's 38, brother. I mean, I
Okay, but
don't
he's
want.
been doing it,
It's
brother.
not me being disrespectful to McCutcheon. It's just I don't expect much from him. That's all.
Yeah, I love watching McCutcheon play.
And
So
then Spencer Horwitz, and maybe he can do something.
yeah, that's true. All right, well that'll wrap up this episode.
Yeah,
We got one more division to do before we get into our top tens, which I'm excited for
yeah, me
because
too.
I just want to debate Andrew and argue because if you guys haven't noticed, I've won most of the debates on this show so far.
I understand. Well, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and then we'll see you closer to the end of this week with what the NL East,
NL
and then we'll finish
East.
that off. All right,
Yes,
you guys
sir.
have a good day.
Peace.